What's happened to the usual sister?
CHAPLIN, in her touch, there is something that means much and makes a man believe her love is true. Lady CHAPLIN, stones and rocks, with his toys, he's made her heart, and I realize she'll break my heart in two. No matter you're waiting, someone but not me. No matter you'll hurt me, I love you still. Lady CHAPLIN, in her touch, there is something that means much and makes a man believe her love is true. No matter you're waiting, someone but not me. No matter you'll hurt me, I love you still. Lady CHAPLIN, in her touch, there is something that means much and makes a man believe her love is true. Love is true. Love is true.
This is the Costa del Sol, Phase 2, completed as planned. Proceed with landing.
Madrid thinks those monks were industrial spies, but nobody can explain how the survivor shows up with a dog tag from the Thresher. The Navy boys say it just can't be Malloy. So we gotta find the whys and wherefores.
Well, the Thresher just wasn't any old sub.
We all know it was an atomic submarine and the biggest peacetime naval disaster in history. That doesn't interest us. But the dog tag, how'd it get there? Look, lumps of metal don't float up from the seabed.
Well, there's always a chance that somebody tried to get the wreck up in salvage alone. It must be worth well over $1 million.
I know, but only one man's got the facilities to raise the Thresher, Ken Zoltan, and he wouldn't be interested.
Yet half his money's been made in bringing up wrecks.
Oh, no, you're barking up the wrong tree, and how, Malloy? There's a guy you can't suspect. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask a question or two.
A fortune for bringing wrecks up. He must earn as much as they pay us in a lifetime.
Our great progress in all branches of science, in chemistry, in physics, and in marine biology, has aroused widespread interest and admiration throughout the whole world. Without the Zoltan Foundation, or more appropriately, without Cobra Zoltan, our patron, this would not have been possible.
Commander Heston is waiting in your office, sir.
Over the past year, thanks to Mr. Zoltan's generous endowments, we have been able to initiate many new research programs and make a substantial increase in the number of Zoltan scholarships available to deserving students all over the world.
I must go to my office for a moment. Okay.
Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Otto Wagner will read his report on the current activities of our foundation.
So we'd like your opinion as to whether it'd be possible to raise the Thresher.
Let me see. As I remember it, the Thresher went down more or less here. Am I right? A place where the water is nearly 2 miles deep. Even with modern techniques, a recovery would be impossible. Cigar, gentlemen. Thanks. And then there's another factor. That area is full of strong submarine currents, which perhaps you haven't taken into account. And if, as you maintain, the wreck has actually been moved, I would imagine that these currents are responsible. It's the only solution. You don't seem convinced.
No, I agree with you. But my superiors don't. More's the pity.
Nevertheless, some strange things are going on in Spain.
In Spain? I don't understand.
Well, nor do we at the moment, but 2 fake monks were killed. And a couple of days ago, a third one showed up at the embassy in Madrid and said he had a U.S. Navy dog tag. So what, you might say? It belongs to an officer who went down with the Thresher. He was making overtures, wants to know how much we'll pay him for it.
Well, I'm not particularly impressed by this secret agent spy novel type of rubbish. That's your affair, gentlemen. But be responsible before you pay for this tag. That's my one suggestion. Because you might say it'll be like using my own money. But then you have no idea how much I pay in taxes. I often wonder how big America would have grown without income tax. Excuse me. Very well. The car's ready. I'm leaving at 4. I have to be in Spain tonight. I'm sorry I couldn't be of any more help. Now, I must leave you to your mystery and get back to my realities. But I'll be glad to see either of you any time that I'm here. Well, then. Goodbye, Commander.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
Goodbye. Bring in the Madrid file.
What's on your mind, eh?
I'm just wondering why a rich man like Zoltan would go on working.
It was the will to work that made his fortune.
It's not only that, he's also in love with power. I know the type. A the meantime, he's off to Europe. Another woman, another life.
You seem to like Europe, so how would you like to spend a while there? How about Madrid?
Then Zoltan didn't take you in either.
You're dreaming, Malloy. I'm far more concerned in who shot those monks and why. And I want that dog tag, remember?
Hello, handsome.
Hi.
Listen, he's one of the corredores, the one on the left.
80, 40, 80, 40. Vale.
Sure hope it's worth $5,000.
It's worth the risk, at least. He's wounded. Get an ambulance. Did you get hurt?
No, nothing. But that lot won't talk anymore. You ought to send somebody to the Bull Plaza. What about our man?
Well, it'll be touch and go for the moment, but the doctor told me he'll be all right. He's at the Anglo-American hospital under police protection.
Well, Doctor, may I question him?
Of course, Inspector, but I'm afraid you'll have to wait an hour or two until the effects of shock have worn off.
It has to be sooner than that. I've got the
Gunshot
American embassy on my neck and...
serious complications. And I cannot take the responsibility at this stage
Yes,
of allowing
of
you
course.
to disturb them.
I know that.
First,
I
these
absolutely
breaths.
must...
Oh, my flowers.
No, Inspector, you will...
Doctor, your wife's on the telephone.
Excuse me.
Of course.
See you later. Help you?
You're very kind, young man, but I can manage, thank you. I know what you're thinking, but I do have a license.
Here, let me do that. I'm very sorry. Did you hurt yourself?
No, it's nothing. Just a scratch.
Sorry, you can't go in. The commissario's orders.
If you'll check with
Just a minute. It is Senor Dick Malloy, correct?
Yes, but
I don't know how to explain this. You wanted to interrogate a man, and he's just been killed.
Killed? How?
Well, it beats me how it was done, Malloy. Somebody knocked out the guard in the door and shot him. I suppose you think we're just a bunch of babies. But my men have cordoned off the hospital. Nobody's allowed to leave until we catch the killer.
What about the old lady in the wheelchair?
You suspect her?
Well, that went all right, Constance. He won't talk now.
Fine.
Though I should have caught him with the other two in the monastery. The police will be here any moment.
I can't wait.
So Hillary booked in?
Yes, he wanted to talk with you right away. I told him you were busy with last-minute style changes.
Good. We mustn't waste any time.
What's that scratch?
Oh, it's nothing. Find a dressing, would you?
will be easy to spot it. Not many Rolls Royces in Madrid. See? Huh? Bueno.
What is it?
They have found the car.
Where?
In front of the Hotel Luz Palacio. Inspector Soler is already on his way there.
Well, I want to arrive without too much publicity.
You're the boss.
She's in this room? Stand back, you two. All right, this is a...
Inspector, is there anything we can do for you?
Ah.
Maybe you just wanted to wish my mother a happy birthday. Please do.
No. Yes, you're right. Oh, happy birthday, Contessa. And now you must excuse me. It's most important that I find this murderer of the Americans, you know.
Are you all right,
No, I'll find my own way out. My apologies for having disturbed you in this way.
Have you found her?
Oh, yes, it wasn't too difficult since you gave me such a perfect description.
Well?
Well, nothing, but she's only the mother of my most important superior.
I wonder who thought that up.
I wouldn't know who thought it up. It'll be a long time before I live this incident down, you know. Perhaps you'll mind your own business in future, Malloy. Good day to you.
Just a minute.
Ah.
I only wanted to say I'm sorry.
The people here today.
Arabelle, my dear. Thank you for those lovely flowers.
Contessa. Are you going to see our show?
Oh, yes, I've managed to persuade my son to take me down. The clothes you design are always so beautiful.
Why, thank you, Contessa.
They're waiting for us, Arabelle.
Contessa.
Oh, boy.
Senor?
Who's that blonde there?
Oh, that's Lady Chaplin. She's the owner of Arabelle Fashions, the ones who are giving the show.
Thank you.
Senor?
Telephone for Senorita Constance Day. Telephone for Senorita Constance Day.
Who's that man over there? Do you know? Yes, I ran into him at the hospital. It looks...
Senorita Day, the telephone.
I'll be right back. Arabelle. Morenito and the other three are all dead.
Dead?
Yes, they were just found in the plaza. Now shall I go and fetch Sir Hilary?
No, maybe it'll rouse their suspicion if I go over there.
Mr. Mackenzie, al telefono. Mr. Mackenzie, al telefono.
Is it all set?
I'm afraid it's impossible. There's no way. It can't be done.
You mean you don't want to do it?
Exactly. You really can't expect me to risk it. It'd be suicide.
I suppose you wouldn't like us advising your authorities about that money you owe them.
Now listen.
What we're offering you can't be sneezed at. Be realistic. 10,000 sterling is more than enough to get you out of those money troubles you're in. Don't you matter?
I know. Arabelle, when do you want it?
You're a wise man. In 4 days, all right?
I won't have time.
If I were in your shoes, I'd find the time. Be seeing you.
Glad to meet you, Lady Chaplin. I'm sorry to break in on you like this. Can I offer you these?
How interesting. Who are you?
A fashion expert who's interested in your models.
If that's really so, this is the wrong place to talk business. And now, would you please leave my room?
Well, okay. I was hoping to invite you out to dinner to talk business. Or would something stop you from going?
I'd have several reasons for refusing, including the scratch I did with the needle. It's infected, you see, and quite painful. And now are you going, or must I get somebody to throw you out?
No, I was just leaving. But first, I want to settle something. And I'm sure you won't stop me.
How dare you?
Quite a woman all the way down. And not as I thought, old and bony. And certainly not paralytic. We must keep that dinner date some other time.
Get me 23460.
23460, that's the Villa Daphne, isn't it? Just a moment, hold the line.
My telephone.
It's ringing.
The phone in my room is giving me trouble.
I'll have it checked, sir.
Has Lady Chaplin tried to call me in my room?
No, senor. She's only put through one call in the last hour.
Oh? Where was that to?
Luz Palacio, the Villa Daphne.
And would you know where this villa is?
It's along the Carretera Coruña, senor.
Oh? And is that far from here?
No, senor.
Well, if you call my room now, you can check the telephone.
Si, senor. Luz Palacio. Yes? I didn't get his room number.
Shall we go and get something to fortify ourselves with? Cobra's staging one of his fights this evening.
Después de haber besado tus cabellos de trigo, nada importa la culpa, pues no importa el castigo. Fue un pecado quererla, Señor, y sin embargo...
Though I must confess I don't enjoy watching it. Here you are.
Thank you.
Let's go and sit down.
Ese amor amargo. Ella fue como un agua callada que corría. Si es culpa tener sed, toda la culpa es...
That Genghis Khan of yours ain't gonna make it this time, Zoltan. I'm not sure. How much will you bet? I'll lay you $5 grand. It's a deal.
You are a little boy at heart, Cobra.
They're favorite animals of mine. I have great respect for them. And perhaps that's because I was born under the sign of the scorpion.
But aren't you afraid of them?
No, very much the opposite. I always have them with me. They bring me good luck. Genghis Khan won again. Want a return match?
Hell no. I've had enough of that little killer of yours for one night.
Ivan.
Come on, Tavares.
diamond. If I'm not mistaken, we've met before.
Yeah, in New York with my boss, Heston, from the CIA.
So it was, but at least the last time you had the good manners to make an appointment.
It's just as well I know how to take care of myself. Otherwise, your watchdog here would have murdered me. And Heston's waiting for me to call.
I perfectly understand. I'm sorry about what happened. But you see, I have many secrets in my laboratory which I have to protect. Pretend it never happened. You know what I mean. Come on inside. The directress of my fashion house, Miss Arabella Chaplin.
But of course, we met a short time ago when you were studying my new models.
That was just a means of meeting a beautiful woman.
Didn't you tell me outside that Heston was waiting?
Oh, yes, for my call. May I use your phone?
Of course you can. Go right ahead. Oh, yes, and give him my regards. Go on, Malloy.
Hello? Malloy? Where the hell are you? What you talking about? Zoltan's? You mad?
Yes, I've information which may help us find that submarine.
Look, Malloy, before you come up with any more of your crazy notions, you'd better listen to this. The Thresher's been located. Now catch the first plane back here. On the seabed where it was in the first place. Get me?
What? What's that? Well, Heston says they found the Thresher.
They have?
It's very possible. It was moved by one of those currents of yours.
Well, that's what I told you before. But you don't seem happy about it.
Of course, I'm delighted, but
Well, perhaps it'll cheer you up to meet my guests. You already know Arabelle.
You're very kind, Zoltan, but perhaps some other time.
There may not be another.
If that's what you think, you're in for a surprise.
I was looking forward to that date you mentioned.
Then don't forget it, because there's always another time, unless, of course...
Unless, of course?
You've changed your ideas about me by then.
How could he possibly have singled you out?
Just pure chance. Almost everything you can control. But not destiny, though. Too bad.
Nobody's destiny conforms to a pattern. But I'm afraid that in Mr. Malloy's case, I could probably make a prediction.
A sonar test on the wreck, and that's enough for me. There's no possibility it isn't there.
Well, it could always be some other wreck.
But don't you understand? It's been proved beyond doubt in spite of your hallucinations.
And you're going to tell me what happened to my car in Spain was another hallucination? Now, maybe this will change your mind. I found it in Zoltan's laboratory. If you drop it in water, it swells up into a spongy mass, incredibly light for its volume. And that's how they raised the Thresher.
Now, you listen to me, Malloy. I suppose you'll be telling me next they raised it using bubble bath. How then?
No strings, no mirrors, no water wings.
Amazing.
You'd better get that stuff analyzed and find the formula for it. Imagine what would happen if somebody filled the thresher with it. Moving it would be about as easy as kicking a football.
Hey, come back here. Where do you think you're off to?
I have an appointment with an old friend of mine. He's got a bathoscope he uses to study marine life. Oh, one thing. I'll pay him with the money I should have used to pay for this. I know you won't mind if I borrow it. So long, Chief.
I've shut the hatch.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we go?
This will give you some idea of what the wreck of the Thresher looks like. I photographed it more than a year ago for your government. A close-up of the hull. Of course, the damage was quite considerable. Look at the cracks on the foredeck. I'm afraid it's ludicrous to believe somebody could have raised the Thresher.
Well, I promise you, I'll be the first to celebrate if we're wrong.
You're an Englishman would call a doubting Thomas, my lord.
She'll be right beside her. The USS Thresher.
Hmm? I'd like to have a look around.
You can't go out there. The enormous pressure will crush you flat. Flatter than a soul. However...
What?
There's my telesonde. I use it for all the underwater exploration, where I need a more maneuverable craft.
Well, come on, let's have a look then.
Huh? Now, you will see right inside the hull. It's only in black and white, of course.
Those missile bays should all be filled.
Yes, as far as I remember, they were the last time I came down. Perhaps you would like a closer look at them.
That's the missile silos of the sub, all right, and they're empty. Every single one's been emptied. 16 Polaris missiles with nuclear warheads. What fools we are. We thought they might have stolen the Thresher, but not that they made off with their Polaris missiles.
What's that?
Yeah, you heard me all right. While we're sitting down here, somebody's got all those Polaris missiles. Fantastic firepower.
Comment c'était fait? What can we do?
Well, there's nothing we can do down here. We'll have to go up, and quickly.
Hello? Hello?
Johansson here. Go ahead.
We're ready to surface now. Prepare the davits as usual.
Shall I have them lower the grapple?
Of course.
Hey, look.
Huh? It's Johansson. Mon Dieu, but I just spoke to him.
Wait, if there's something wrong, we mustn't let them realize we've caught on to it. Can I get out of here before we surface?
The submarine escape lock. You'll find a belt filled with depth charges on the wall, and a micro respirator for your air supply on your right. I'll stand by just below the surface.
impressive. But they might just as well still be in the thresher at the bottom of the sea. Moving them now would be far too much of a risk.
You agreed to accept delivery on board. So that is your problem.
I might remind you the agreement was made before the Americans found reason to investigate you, endangering the project. It doesn't matter as long as they only worry about your private affairs. But our preoccupation is the apparent lack of security.
Then it is an unnecessary preoccupation. However, all right. If that's what you want, the missiles will be handed over at Zanya.
Well, why not make
Wait.
it...
One moment. I intend to move this ship for the time being and anchor it along the coast somewhere.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. I have every respect for your government, but I also know that you have secret agents, people who'll do anything. At the beginning of this affair, we had to make arrangements for 3 of them. A most unfortunate incident.
I think we finished down here. In our original agreement, you were also contracted to provide a certain supply of nitroguanidine.
That's right. The propellant. It's quite possible I won't be able to keep that part of the agreement.
Well, do your best. You agreed to hand it over in Paris.
Well, if that's how you want it, I'm very precise, my dear.
And so am I. Don't forget. See you in Paris.
You will be contacted by Lady Chaplin. Yes, she will arrange to meet you. Our friend's just arriving. Well, now. Everything ready?
Yes, everything's ready. Goodbye. Delighted to see you, Miss Chaplin. Shall we be getting along? Leave the jeep there.
They've gone inside now.
Good.
The propellant is in the green wagon at the end there, which is ideal for what you have in mind. It's been packed in strengthened steel cases.
Are they sealed in a special manner, these cases?
The duty guards are in the carriage that's second from the end. There's also a relief detail further up the train, but they won't take over until Dover. So that allows an adequate margin. The relief detail travels in the first carriage. At precisely 10:20, the train will pass the points, and at all costs you must have everything ready then. Otherwise, I can't help you. I know you won't let me down, but I'm throwing away my career for this, and it's absolutely vital that I get paid in cash on Monday.
Let's synchronize our watches.
And Malloy?
Oh, there's no need to worry about him, my dear. He obviously knows the risk that he's running. The risk that if he gets too close, I might be tempted to use that firepower. And that is why he won't act as long as I have the missiles. I could destroy a whole continent with the tip of my finger. Just like that.
And if he stumbles across them?
Now, he hasn't got time to. No one, including you, knows where I've hidden them. And when the missiles and the propellant have been delivered to the customer, what can be proved against me? You understand?
I think so.
Time is our only worry now. That's all.
Look at this dolly. Good evening, miss.
So sorry, boys. I must have the wrong compartment.
No,
you
mustn't let me help you with
There's
that
plenty
bottle.
of room. Come on in.
Here you are, mate.
Do you mind if we shut the window? It's so cold in here.
What a fortunate mistake you made.
Shall we have some whiskey, Captain?
I say, didn't we meet last year at the Inter-Services hockey match? May I have some soda in mine, please? I'm sure it was there.
Well, did you have a good journey?
It would have been better if it hadn't been so drafty. Documents, visa, and a plane ticket to Brazil. Satisfied?
Will you come to the airport?
It would be pointless, Sir Hilary. So I'll say goodbye now. Bon voyage.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour.
We'd like an American perfume. What do you have?
You want our import department, monsieur. If you step this way. Perfumes, toiletries.
Have you got anything to report yet? Any news of that fuel?
There's not a sign of it, but London just telex that there's certain stuffs here in Paris.
Well, if that's the way it is, sweetheart, I guess I wasn't brought here just to see you.
Have you ever seen this man? He was head of Britain's missile research.
Yes. Now, where was it? In Madrid with Lady Chaplin.
He just spent a weekend in the morgue.
Then why don't you go and arrest Lady Chaplin right now?
Because she happens to be a French national in France. An American couldn't arrest her. Not without much more evidence.
Precisely. And our evidence is the fuel and missiles our friend Mr. Cobra Zoltan has pinched.
Then what's the use of my continuing to work as a model with Arabelle Fashions?
Why don't you ask your friend Malloy? It was his idea, not mine.
And I've got a little too much muscle to be a mannequin. The key to everything is in that fashion house.
Where is Lady Chaplin?
At the Hotel du Louvre. Her apartment number's 22A.
Your coat, sir?
We're lucky.
You can keep her occupied. I'm going to check her apartment.
What? The big chief is going to investigate like an ordinary agent?
Nah, makes me feel young again.
Well, that's about all it'll do for you. You won't find anything.
You know, I might. And if not, I'll plant something useful.
Two martinis, one for me and the other, for my friend. You are drinking martinis, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose so.
I see we have the same taste.
Now, isn't that surprising? You wouldn't be staying here as well.
No, but I might consider it. That is, after we've kept our dinner date, of course.
Oh, yes, I'd love to. However, my fashion show is supposed to open here at 7 this evening, so we couldn't have dinner together until tomorrow night.
Oh, well, I never did have much luck with career girls. It's the usual problem.
Yes, I suppose so.
Too busy. Was London all right?
The show went well. In fact, it was a marvelous success. My designs were well received, and I made several new contacts.
Sorry I couldn't have come.
Will you hurry up? We're going to be late again.
Well, you can't say you had to wait for me this time, for goodness sake.
Well, if I wasn't waiting for you, who was I waiting for?
I don't know why you're always hollering at me anyhow.
Look what I've done. Will you excuse me while I go upstairs and put on something else? I'll be back in a moment.
Of course.
Satisfied your curiosity?
Not too much. Though I like your Buddha's television set.
There's no point in evading the issue, is there? Now, what did...
It's obvious the man's a thief.
Oh, wait a minute.
Shut up.
Hey, what is this? I was just...
Outside.
Let me explain.
You can explain outside. Get me the hotel detective.
This isn't the last. You...
Come back here. What kind of a hotel is this? I come back here and find this idiot rummaging through my
That's
bag.
an imposter.
I didn't know you had so many talents. You know, your boss may be a good agent, but he makes a bad burglar.
Yeah, maybe. But it's better to be bad and alive than good and dead, like Sir Hilary, for example.
Why was he searching my room? To find all those missiles locked in the cupboard?
I can see we have some more interests in common.
I wouldn't try finding out where they are. It won't get you anywhere. Because I don't know.
But supposing you did, would you tell me?
That remains to be seen, Moonshoe, doesn't it? Make it worth the while and I could...
Do you know or not?
I'm afraid that's no way to find out.
It's the only way to treat somebody like you.
Are you so sure? There are other ways that could be much more pleasant.
Ah, so now we're playing lovers.
Oh, no. It wouldn't be practical to make love to policemen. Especially when my only aim, now you've discovered my role in this affair, is to find a way not to go to prison.
I get you. You want a free pardon when the case is solved.
Yes, precisely. And if you come back here later, I'll tell you where to find those missiles. And then we can seal the bargain, right?
Oh, sure.
And now you can go. Police dog. What's wrong?
Will you stop using that word?
Oh, that's what you are, my police dog.
Are you sure of it?
I think your bark's worse than your bite. Much worse, chérie.
Our first girl, Mandy, is wearing a charming gown. Number 6 in the catalog. In raspberry pink organdy, light and yet elegant. The butterfly sleeve and on-here waist gives this design a touch of youthful lightheartedness. Behind her we have Helga, in the finely woven printed linen. Catalog number 7. Another new material, and one which has created much interest in our shows all over Europe. Polyacetate taffeta, worn tonight by Jean-Pierre. Its graceful look is emphasized by a generous bow at the neckline, available either trimmed with Siberian ermine or plain. A cherry red cocktail, sleeveless and with a neckline plunging as far as the waist. It is number 10 in the catalog. The material is an exclusive new synthetic fabric, which is not yet available on the general market, and which was obtained in very limited quantities by special arrangements between Lady Chaplin and the manufacturer. Catalog number 2, a sweepingly elegant dress in primrose buff chenille, trimmed with rare Macedonian velvet. Is the light...
Terrible creation that red dress is. It wasn't in the London collection, was it?
No, it's her latest design, made out of some top-secret new material.
I wonder if you could tell me, the red dress in that unusual material, how much does it cost?
I'm sorry, madame, but you see there was only material for one dress, and that's already sold. If you'll come with me, we'll try it on.
Next, in a full-length ball gown of heavy wild silk, we have Natasha, who recently joined us from Russia. The luxurious, sophisticated design she is wearing would certainly have pleased the Tsar in 19th century St. Petersburg. Number 19 in the catalog, which features a deeply plunging back and semi-full skirt, patterned with maroon Turkish-style arabesques on a pale turquoise ground. The zircon and platinum.
We were able to incorporate the missile propellant in this material. It's easy to transport and there's little risk. Since the American Secret Service are already suspicious of us, we naturally want to get the whole affair finished quickly. The material is highly explosive and unstable near an open flame. In all, we have 200 rolls, which by means of a normal chemical process can be reconverted to nitroguanidine.
Ingenious.
And above all, safe. The 10 crates are already at the airport in your name, and the customs inspection aroused no suspicion. Oh yes, the French permis d'exportation.
And they're the jewels. Diamonds worth $5 million, nothing bigger than 5 carats. The remainder to be paid, as soon as we take delivery of the missiles, in American $100 bills.
Thank God that's over. I'm half dead. Louisa, could you help me with these boots, please?
I know they're frightfully tight, aren't they? I can't stand them.
Don't move. Leave that dress alone. I knew there was something suspicious about you. Put it on the table. Oh, oh, oh.
Yes?
Congratulations, Arabelle. Yesterday's show was a great success.
Are you in the hotel?
It doesn't matter. Be prepared to leave in an hour.
And the crates for Hilda at the airport still?
They're already on their way, in spite of that girl that Malloy had put on our tail.
I don't understand you.
Jacqueline, she killed Constance. It's better to get out. Be ready to leave in 1 hour.
Where are we going?
Corsica. But this time we go together.
For the final phase?
That's right. I left the missiles there to wait for us.
Oh, it's you. But what happened? You hurt your hand.
And now we're going to find out just why you killed Jacqueline.
What did you expect? She was caught spying.
That's no reason. That girl was burnt alive, and it's all your fault.
I didn't
Yours, you
even know
understand?
about it. And what was she there for anyway? Don't you have any faith in me?
I've had too much faith in you. Why didn't you tell me that missile fuel was in the material? Why didn't you hand it over?
You overlooked the fact that the bargain was for me to find out where they've hidden the missiles.
And did you find out?
In Corsica, and I only discovered it 10 minutes ago.
If you're lying,
Zoltan called me just now. He's taking me there in his private plane. Won't you ever trust me?
if this is another one of your little tricks, I'll make you pay for it. Even if I have to go looking in hell to find you.
The signal's still stationary, boss.
What'd you find out?
The missiles are in Corsica. The girl just told me all about it.
You're sure?
I guess we'll have to take her word for it.
She's trouble.
Maybe you're right, but we don't have anything to lose. By the way, does your little gadget work? The bug.
It's perfect.
She's outside and clear as a bell, boss.
Looks like she's making for the airport.
Well, she's covered in every way that's possible. The whole European network's tuned into that bug. As for you, Dick, there's a plane standing by for you. At the airport. Best of luck.
Thanks.
So long. Headquarters calling all stations on the network sunshade. This is Heston. The fish is just about to leave Paris. Direction probably Corsica. Alert headquarters to any change en route. I repeat, alert headquarters to any change.
They've changed course to Route 12.
Hello. Is that Malloy?
Stand by, sir. The boss is on the radio for you, Malloy.
We're about to take off, boss.
Listen, they're taking Route 12. Get going immediately, here?
But that's not the route for Corsica.
But this isn't the route for Corsica.
Quite right. In fact, we're on our way to Morocco. The missiles are there already, so is the climb. I'm very annoyed about your policeman friend, Mr. Malloy.
I don't know what you mean, sorry.
Arabelle, you're a very good friend of Malloy's, or you wouldn't have betrayed me.
I didn't betray you.
Oh, come on now. Constance kept an eye on you, for me, just as you were watching her. And for the same reason.
Sir? It seems like the plane's circling over here, just off the coast, zone 731, sir.
Get Malloy. Hello? Hello, Malloy? Listen, boy. They must be up to something over Morocco. Get to zone 731.
Do you think they're preparing to land?
It's your job to find out, and I'm afraid you're going to be on your own. It's a bad area. We can't send any of our forces there because if we did, we'd probably cause an international incident. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, boss. Hey, boss. We've just spotted the plane on radar, so I'll sign off. Over and out.
All right, you don't believe it's the truth. I just didn't want you to lose the money, though.
Oh, I believe you. When I found you, you were only a thief. A petty thief. Lady Chaplin. Well, I'll land the plane. We've arrived. It took you a lot to discover this place. I'm sure you'd far rather have a good look at those missiles before I do. Main base. Can you see that woman that just parachuted out of my plane?
Yes, we've been watching her, Chief. She's coming this way.
I want all of you to surround her and eliminate her. Be quick.
Right, boss. Come on.
Over this way.
Wait here.
Let me come along.
No, I'm sorry, Arabelle. You're going to have to sit this one out.
Fire these 16 atomic missiles. All I've got to do is throw that switch on the wall over there. The whole continent will be blown up.
You're out of your mind.
Get those scorpions. Zoltan got bitten by a scorpion. I thought those atomic bombs were going to explode in the fire.
Well, atomic bombs don't go off in a fire, my boy. They take much more than that to explode. And I doubt if Mr. Zoltan could have detonated them either. The only trouble is there's so many countries in the world who'd like to fill their armories with Polaris missiles. Now, what about that Chaplin girl? You know, it's about time you got wise. She's been nothing but a heap of trouble, and you know it.
But she's still a lot of woman.
Nah, you're my best man, but woman crazy.
At last, I almost thought that you wouldn't make it.
The appointment was to be at 3. I'm sure I got there before that.
I don't want to have an argument with you now. You know, you're remarkably sympathetic. Ah!
The girl's in my room. Keep her there as a hostage until you hear from me. Guillotine.
Control.
Entrez alors.
Bonsoir, baby. I want to thank you for having that woman arrested.
It was nothing. Surely I'm not under arrest, though.
You stole all the money, right?
You wouldn't think I'd be mad enough to do a robbery with so many spies around. I'm as fond of him as one of my own uncles.
You know, I'd like to break your neck.
That's a funny way of making love.
Where is the money?
Perhaps you better search me.
That's a great idea.
much. There is something that means much